Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for coming. And yes, gateway to agape, gateway to unconditional love. How do we create that gateway within our own being? How do we express our love in a dynamic way so that it's not just a conversation that we're having, but it's actually a way that we're being in the world? You know, these are things that we really need to think about. We need to think about, how do we give our love away? What is the way that we give our love away that's going to really make a difference in our community and the world? You know, we sing these songs of empowerment, and we sing these songs of powerful healing, you know, and in all of that, there is this wonderful message of our own spiritual liberation, of our own spiritual freedom, the journey that we're on. So, you know, I was thinking about this wonderful idea of this gateway to peace, this standing united we stand, as Jack spoke about, the gift that keeps on giving, as Reverend Annie talked about with us. And I came to this sense of oneness. You know, it's all about this oneness. Now, I had a belief of oneness. I believed, like I'm sure all of you, that we are one. We are one. You know, but there was a profound moment that I had very, very recently that I want to share with you. And maybe some of you have already discovered this for yourselves. And maybe for you, there might be some of you there that have had, this is a new thought to you. It was such a new thought to me that it was just an amazing experience. So I want to share this with you in hopes that maybe you will try this little experience yourself. I was sitting one day and I was thinking about the oneness of us all. And I was thinking about the Tao. And the very first verse of the Tao says that the Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. Now, what does that mean? The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. In other words, what they're saying is that once we name anything, we take it out of eternity and we separate it. We separate it. Now, all of a sudden, tree, this is a tree. This is not a tree. This is a choir, this is not a choir. You know, this is Pooki, this is not Pooki. So I started thinking about, as I was sitting in my living room, I sat down and I was looking around at all of the objects that I was surrounded by, and I began to unname them. So I said, that's not a picture frame. That's not a Kuan Yin. What is it? You know, so as I became liberated when I unnamed it. You know, this isn't my fireplace. This is, you know, this is not a sofa. This is not a... And as I began to unname all of the objects in the room, including my beloved, what happened was they all began to vibrate. There became a life that was present within them. They began to vibrate with this vibration of liberation, that they were finally freed from this name. And they were liberated to be in the allness, the oneness of it all. And so then I began to see the blending of everything. It became blended. There was no separation. There was no line between this or that. There was no space between me and the sofa or me and Bob or any of that. All of a sudden, it was all magnificently vibrating in this field of oneness. And I thought to myself, who am I? Who am I? I am a part of it all. I am the allness. I am the oneness. I am eternal. To give me a name limits the very being that I am. I am. I am. And so I was at a conference at Revelation, and there were so many beautiful souls there, and some of them I knew by name. And there were those that I didn't. And as I was reflecting on this journey of being in LA at Agape, this love stream of vibrationally unconditional love that is just released, as I was thinking about all of those beautiful souls that I had hugged and I never knew their name, it became unimportant. Their names became unimportant. Why? Because to name them would be to limit them. To name them would be to separate them from the allness, the oneness that we all are. So I invite you to begin to look around you and remove the names from everything in your experience. And watch what happens. You will see that you are part of the infinite, divine, vibrational, universal love that is present and is everywhere, everywhere. So that's my little message for today.